Okay, I've got Mark Harrison,
Yes, ma'am.
Jonathan McKinley.
Hi, Jonathan is here.
Okay, and okay, and I did have a Stephen Ortiz. Let me see here. It's weird. I can't see all the names. Let's see if I can pull it down somehow. There we go. Stephen Ortiz. Stephen, are you with us? I don't see a mic or anything. And there's somebody with an iPhone. If I didn't call your name, that's probably. Oh, that's Nate. Nate Barrett, you were using your iPhone?
No.
Okay, well that moved. Okay, no, it moved you. Okay, Marco. Or Marcus?
Come on.
Are you with us, Marcus? Okay, well, I don't want to spend too much time on making sure everybody's here, so we'll just get started here. Okay, my name's Chris, and I'm going to show you guys what the computer screen is going to look like. Okay, I designed the format myself through the dialer company, so you never have to leave the page. Okay, you'll get you'll have drop down screens and things like that, but other than that, you don't have to go through a list of things to find rebuttals or enter do any data entry or anything like that. So it's pretty simple. So okay, Sean.
Maggie.
Okay, I've got one more person. Sean, can you hear me? Can you see my screen?
Come on.
Go ahead and everybody take yourself off of mute, unless you've got a lot of background noise. Okay. Before we get started on the screen, did everybody receive their paperwork through the email? The agent agreement, independent contractor, the compensation document, and the W-9?
Yes.
Okay, so I need that paperwork back by the end of the day today, for those of you that are going to be starting on the phones today. And then, let's see. So I'm going to go through the roll again just to make sure I know what everybody's doing. Mark Harrison, when are you going to get on the phones today, or when did you want to log in to start taking calls?
I was actually gonna start next week.
Okay.
Does that work?
Yeah. We may have to do a refresher with you next week then, but I'll go ahead and
I may be able to start later this week. I don't want to make a promise that I can't keep. You know what I mean?
Okay. No worries. And Nate?
Yeah, I was going to start today.
Okay. And Jonathan?
I'll be able to start tomorrow.
Take yourself off mute. Jonathan?
I'll be able to start tomorrow.
Yeah, you can start tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure because I've got to make sure I've got spread everybody out so we don't run into a problem where somebody can't log in. Okay. Pierre?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm using my brother Pierre Guidi computer, but it's Bert Lancaster is my name.
Oh, Bert. Okay.
Bert. Yes, I will. Well, tomorrow will be a good. We will go through that. So you would want us to start today?
Today or tomorrow. I know some people wanted to get the training out of the way and wanted to start later in the week, or even, as you can hear, some of them are starting next Monday. So I just needed to make sure that I've got the dialer set up to handle, as many logins.
No problem.
I said, what are you going to do, today or tomorrow?
We do tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay. And who do I? Stephen Ortiz. Stephen, are you with us? Take yourself off mute.
Hi, Chris.
Yes.
Hi, good morning. Stephen Ortiz is here. Well, definitely. I believe that I really want to get the training, out of the way. Right. Tomorrow will be a great day for me to start.
Okay, no
officially.
Worries. I just wanted to make sure I've got everybody. Now, those of you that haven't sent in your paperwork as of yet, if you can get that to me by the end of today, that would be awesome. I think, Nate, I have yours. And then I have one other person who isn't training today, but so Nate, you're good. I've got yours, but everybody else, I need you to get that paperwork completed and signed and sent back to me so I can send it over to the corporate office. Okay. Okay, you guys can go ahead and put yourself on mute until I call on you to or call on everybody to respond. Okay. If you don't have background noise, that's fine. You can stay off mute. Okay. Okay. So the screen that you're looking at right now is a manager screen. I'm going to go ahead and log out of my screen and put a screen up that looks like yours, or what yours will look like. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so let me go ahead and, okay, so when you log into the system, you're going to log in with this URL at the top of the screen. Okay, the dialer is up and running from 9 o'clock in the morning until 8 in the evening. And then on Saturdays from 9 in the morning till 5 in the afternoon. Because I only have so many seats set up for each time frame, I need to know when you guys are going to be on the phone so I can make sure that we're not overlapping and I've got people that can't log in. Okay. So like I said, that's why it's so important that I have that information from you, because it'll let me know what shifts that you want to work. And if we can stick to those shifts, I do have people that will work a couple of the shifts, but I just need to know what everybody's doing so that I can make sure that we have enough seats available. Okay, so what I suggest is you take this URL and put it in your search, or the other way. The other thing is you have to be in Google Chrome. Okay, so in Google Chrome, you'll put in this address and it'll bring up this screen that you see right here. Okay, now your logins, once I have all your paperwork, will be this is a little different here, but it'll be the initial of your first name, and then a period, and then your last name. And then your login, your password is going to be the last 4 digits of your social security number. Okay, but obviously I can't set that up until I get your paperwork back. Okay, so when you log into the screen or log into the dialer, oh, that's weird. Okay. 015. There we go. Okay, so when you log in, this is the screen you're going to see. Okay. This screen is where your script is going to show up and the customer information, and then any entries that you have to make regarding the customer that you're speaking to. Okay. Over on this side of the screen, you'll see once you start making appointments, you'll be able to click on here and all of your appointments will show up. Okay. On the calendar. Okay. So this is what the calendar looks like. And I'm going to show you this calendar again in another scenario, but this is what it looks like. And we don't do appointments before 8 o'clock in the morning, and we try not to do them after 6 o'clock in the evening because they have to climb on roofs, and if it's dark out, then it makes it difficult. But keep in mind also that once we set these appointments, everything's sent over to the corporate office, and there is somebody designated to distribute these appointments and assign them to the inspectors that will go out. Now, they will also contact these homeowners to verify the appointments, and if they have to reschedule, they'll do it at that time. So a lot of times we try to schedule everything within 72 hours of the time we're on the phone. Sometimes that's not feasible, especially if you're calling on Friday and Saturday, you're going to have to schedule it for the next week. These tabs up here will allow you to toggle your calendar to the next week, and you can keep going until you get to the week that you need. Now, on occasion, we're going to run into, because we're calling Southwest Florida, we're going to run into snowbirds. And those of you that don't know who they are or what a snowbird is, it's somebody who has multiple homes and they come here during the winter months and they go home for the summer months. So they may not be, because we're calling cell phones, they may not be here in Florida at this time, but that's not a problem. What we try to do is find out when they're going to return and schedule a time for us to come out once they've returned, and let them know that, we'll go ahead and book the appointment so we don't forget about them. But if it comes down to it and they have to change that appointment when that confirmation's made, to let us know. And there's a spot on the screen that allows you to put a note. And it's important that you put in there that they are up north or out of state until whatever date they tell you they're coming back. That way they don't try to call them and try to get the appointment moved up and frustrate the customer, because the customer's already told us they're not here. Because sometimes that they'll do that, especially if it's 2 or 3 weeks out. They'll call the homeowner and see if they can come out earlier. Okay, so if it's a month out or a couple months out, you can click the month tab on the calendar and just move to the month that you need. Okay, and then go to the week of that month and then schedule the appointment. Now, each of these time frames are in hour increments. Okay, but the little squares beneath that are 15 minutes. Okay, so if this customer decided they wanted to come at 9 o'clock, you just put your cursor in the top square and press on that. And then what happens is the calendar will disappear from the screen, and there'll be a spot on the left-hand side of the screen where it says appointment set, and then you click on that. Now, so if it's 9 o'clock, you click on the first box, then 9:15, 9:30, and 9:45. Okay. Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes, we do.
okay. So now if there were appointments in there, it would show up as appointments. And let me see if I can get to a week where this person has appointments. Let's see here. Okay. It looks a little different than it'll look on your screen, but these are appointments right here. Okay. So there'll be a little square. Now, the reason these are like this is because, for instance, this is 10:47. That's kind of a weird time, but 10:29, 10:45, or 2:45, 12:29. So the appointments will appear in the little squares, except when you're booking the appointment. When you go back and look, this is what it'll look like. But when you're actually booking the appointment, it looks a little different. And we'll go over that. Okay, so let's get out of the appointments. And then over here is the call log. So if you run into a situation where you've got a customer on the phone, or you want to see how many calls you've taken for the day, you just click on your call log. Now, obviously, this person's not logged in, so I'm going to go back to, I'm just going to put it the 11th on here. So from the 11th to the 18th, we've got these calls that were made. Okay. So this will give you an idea of how many what calls you're doing and what, so if you have a situation where you've spoken to a homeowner and for whatever reason you need to call them back, you can go into your call log and you can find them. Okay. It's easier to do when you're looking for them on the same day. Most agents have pages and pages of call logs, so it's a little bit more difficult to locate them unless you have the date that you originally contacted that person. So if you run into a situation and you know you're going to have to call somebody back, make a little note for yourself on a piece of paper so that you have the ability to do that. Okay, so now when you're ready to take a call, up here at the top of the screen where it says training, there's the drop-down box. And you can see over here where it says dialer paused because I've got this person set up in training. Now, when you get ready to start taking calls, you put yourself in ready, okay? And I'm going to try to get in and out before a call comes in. So you put yourself in ready, and then this information, it tells you that it's dialing, and it gives you a countdown.
I can't come to the phone right now.
Okay, so I got a voicemail.
I'll call you back as soon as I can. Have a great day.
Now,
at the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Okay. So I'm not going to disposition this just yet. Normally up here, before you get the call, it says up here dialing in the background. Okay, so that you know, and you guys heard that chime. That chime, it tells you that the call is coming through to you, so you're ready to see your script. Now, this particular script is a little bit different than some of the others, but you can see when the script comes up, it gives you your homeowner's name and then your name, and then the additional information that you need to fill out fill out additional information over here. Okay, so we're going to want to know the email address. So you need to put that. If they have an alternate phone number, we need to put that in there. You need to confirm their address, make sure we have the correct address. And then we have over here appointment type. So there's a drop down arrow here. Here, let me get out of this before and then, okay, so I'm going to just go into another call that we can look at let's see. Okay, so this is the script you're going to see. And again, you've confirmed the information that you have is correct. If we needed an alternate phone number, we'll get that email address. And then when you get down here, these questions here can be completed if you get to this portion of your screen. Sometimes right after the first time that you ask for the appointment, they say, yeah, okay. and you never get to that point. So you just need to remember to come over here and make sure you have all of your information filled in over here. So because we are a roofing company, we are also making appointments for them to come out and have their roof checked. If they have an old roof, if they had a storm come through recently, we'll get up there and we'll check for storm damage. We'll also inspect the roof to make sure it's ready for storm season. And if our objective is to get them to allow us to come out and inspect the roof and also explain to them about solar and how they can go solar and start saving money powering their home. So the appointment type, there's an arrow down. So it will either be a solar appointment, a roofing appointment, or possibly both. In most cases, it'll be both if the home is, if the roof is not brand new. A roof that's 10 years or older should probably be replaced before they put solar on it. And we can do all of that. And the inspectors will explain all of that. Okay. So, ask if the roof has recently been inspected. If they say no or they don't know, just ask them if it was inspected when they purchased the home, and find out when they purchased the home. Last replace. Some of them don't know. And for instance, if somebody tells you, "Well, I bought this house 8 years ago, and this is the same roof that was on it when we bought it," then just put in here 8 years plus or over 8 years. Same thing with the inspection. Roof type is important. We want to know if it's a shingle roof, a metal roof, barrel tile, or flat tile. So barrel tile, you guys have seen, it's that Spanish style tile that's kind of has ripples in it. And then flat tile is a tiled material, but each of the tiles are flat. And there are other styles of roofs. If it doesn't fit one of these categories, you can just put it down here in your notes. Okay. Now the notes are limited for characters, so try to abbreviate or put this, make your notes pretty simple. If the person that they're going to be meeting with is different than the person that's on the lead, if it's a husband and wife, you can put that the contact person right here. Okay. You can put same if it's the same person. Okay. And the roof age and last time it was replaced is kind of the same thing. And then ask them if they're in a gated community. If they are, here's a drop down box, yes or no. And then some people are reluctant to give you the gate code. So you don't even have to ask for the code. Just say, when they arrive at the gate, what should they do? If she says, "Oh, well, here's my code," or call me, or the guard will call me, just a note, call from gate. Okay. If there's a guard there, they'll tell them what to do. And then of course, here's notes. So in your presentation, you're going to ask them what their average electric bill is, and you'll put that information in the notes. Okay. And once you get to a point where they've said, "Okay, yeah, I want to go ahead and have somebody come out and inspect my roof," you'll ask them what date, and you'll put that in here. And then you'll ask them what time, and you'll put that in here. Okay.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes, right.
Yeah, okay.
I have a question very much. When it comes to the electric bill average, right? Is there a quote, an amount we have to have the minimum, or if they say, for instance, "Oh, my average is $80. My bill comes, it's not that much. It's $70 or $80.
No, it doesn't matter. And the reason I say that, because even if solar isn't feasible for them, we can still look at their roof and see if their roof is in good shape.
Okay. So it doesn't matter if the amount doesn't seem to be something.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know a lot of companies out there don't want to go out to a home that has an electric bill less or $100 or less.
Right.
But it's in our situation, we're not doing that.
Okay. All right. Great then. Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Milo, is it all right? We'll look at that.
So after you've made sure that all the information right here is filled in,
Yeah.
then you go over here and the green button that says appointment set, you'll click that one time.
Turn.
Okay. And that's where the calendar shows up. And remember, I told you the calendar, the appointments that are already set on the calendar are going to look different. Now, these appointments aren't just your appointments. They're for everybody that's on the phones making appointments. So it looks kind of,
Just one day, a couple.
once you set the appointment, the calendar is going to go away.
That was what we did
Okay.
last time.
Now,
Next time, we're gonna try something.
it looks like when you're looking at this that
Turn around.
it'll only take one appointment per square, but that's not really the case.
Turn around.
What happens is, and let's see if I can find
Not gonna
one.
be long. It's just gonna
Okay, see this one right here where it's split? These are two different customers,
talk about later.
but they're both scheduled for 10 o'clock in the morning.
Your underwear drawer.
Okay, so that, and same thing with this one. So that will happen in the background and you won't really see it. And here it's,
Milo's come
they're both
brush.
on the same day, but this
Come
one's at
brush,
11:15, this one's at
A little
11:45.
muff
So
stuff.
just make sure you put your cursor in here in the square, because you should still, even though there's that block there with the name on it, you should still be able to fit it in there. Okay. And then you click on it, the calendar will go away, and then you come back over here and click on the appointment set again, and then your screen will clear and prepare you for the next phone call. Okay. And the same thing applies to all of these buttons. These are your dispositions. So you get through a phone call, and let's say, now, even though we scrub these and there's supposed to be individual homeowners or single family homes, renters and condos slip in. So if you get into your presentation and say, well, hold on for a second, I don't own this home, I'm a renter. Oh, no problem. You can ask them, do you think your landlord would be interested in putting solar on the house? If they say yes, jot down the landlord's name and phone number, and you can go down here to your keypad and you can dial in their phone number and call them. Now, what you would do is you'd go ahead and disposition the call as renter, and you have to click it twice. Okay. And then the screen will clear that you put yourself into training, and then you make that phone call so another call doesn't come in while you're trying to dial. Okay. And I know I'm going over a lot of stuff with you guys, but anytime you run into a situation, you can always call me and I'll walk you through it. And then once you dial the number, your screen will come up like this, only it won't have a name here, but it will have your name, and all this information will be blank. So you will have to data enter all of this information over here when you talk to the landlord. Okay. So let's say, if it's a renter or they live in a condominium, you just click on that twice, your screen will clear and you'll get your next call. If now voicemails like the one we heard are not they're supposed to be scrubbed out. The system is supposed to recognize them, and they're not supposed to be sending those calls to us, but every once in a while one will slip through. And I have a voicemail button here, but it kind of acts up sometimes. So I would just click on not available. Okay. If they tell you it's a wrong number, go ahead. And now some of the reps, they'll ask them, well, are you at such and such address, and are you a homeowner? Now, sometimes the phone number has been transferred over to somebody else and they are a homeowner, but they may not be at this address. So if you're able to get them to listen to you, you can change all of this information or correct that information and still book the appointment. Okay. If they're not interested. Now, this button is going to be used a lot because all this does is toss the call back into the database, and it doesn't get rid of it. And the reason we don't want to get rid of it is because we are calling these people in the middle of the day, possibly in an inopportune time. They could be driving. They could be on the phone with somebody else. They could be mowing the lawn. It could be a variety of different things, but they're just not able to talk to us right now. So sometimes they'll just say they're not interested, but they really don't know what they're not interested in because they haven't given us an opportunity to say anything. So we like to be able to put this back through, and at some point, and we hope that at some point we'll reach out to them again, and they will be available to talk to us. So a lot of times, once you say, "Hello, so and so, this is Chris with Universal Contracting, and I appreciate you taking my call," and then they hang up. Okay, that would be a not interested. Okay, now if you speak to them and they tell you, "Listen, we have a new roof. We're not interested. Please take us off your list, or don't call us anymore." That kind of thing. You hit do not call, because we don't want to talk to those people again. All we're going to do is aggravate them. Okay. Now you're going to run into a situation sometimes. We've got a customer who says, "Hey, listen, I really want to talk to you about this, but I'm in the middle of something. I'm on another phone call, or I'm driving. I'll be home in 15 minutes. Can you call me back in 15 minutes? Or I'm out of town. Call me back next week." That kind of thing. So here's a callback button. So when you click on that, then it gives you the opportunity to do a callback. So you click on the callback button. It's call me back in 15 minutes. And then you click on this, and then it'll appear up here at the top of the screen for the callback, and you can call them back at that time. If for whatever reason you're on the phone when it's time to call them back, then you can always do you can go back to your log, your call log, and click on that person, and then you can go to your keypad. You can dial it in too. Okay.
Sorry, Chris, I have
Yes.
a question.
Sure.
Right. This part is very interesting. So if you want to call, let's say I was supposed to call somebody at 10 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock, it turns out I'm on a call, and then you're saying that 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, I can go back and click on that callback, right? Go to my
Yes.
call log. I will be able to see that callback and then dial the number, or do I have to manually dial the number, or it gives me the option to just launch it?
It should launch it, but if it doesn't, then you can just dial the number in here, and it
Manually.
and the number will appear at the bottom where it says enter a number. The number that you're dialing will appear as you're dialing at the bottom, and then your green button that says call will show up, and it'll light up, and you hit call, and then that person's record will come back up on the screen with the script and everything.
Okay, beautiful. One last thing. You suggested earlier, we can always have that number or that contact information on a notepad, right?
Correct.
For
That's
us,
correct.
right? It's safer in that aspect, right?
Right, because you may take, several hundred calls in a day, and to try to sift back through it, not remembering what time you actually received that phone call may be cumbersome. It might be easier. I have one of the reps, and she's got a notepad that she keeps next to her, and she's writing down notes, even comments. If she's going to do a call back, she writes down, why she's doing the call back. And then even sometimes she'll just make additional notes if she had an issue with a customer or something like that. So, but yeah, it's you can do it either way. It's supposed to, to be honest with you, it's supposed to automatically send that call to you. But if you're on a call, you're not going to get it.
I see.
So, and it's not going to go to anybody else, but it just kind of goes into limbo. That's why I'm saying, if you run into a situation where that time lapses and you didn't get a chance to accept that call, then then you can manually dial it.
All right. And I'm happy to hear that callback is not going to go to somebody else either, which is a great thing.
That's correct.
All right. Then. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, so looking at the script, you can see it's pretty simple, okay? The goal is to get these people to allow us to send out an inspector to do a free inspection of their roof, to make sure the roof is in great shape, to go over any concerns that they have with the roof, and to introduce them to solar and the benefits of solar, and how they can get solar panels on their roof with no upfront cost.
Come here and do the easy
Okay.
right.
So the script is a guideline. I want you guys to feel comfortable with the script. I want you to be able to repeat what's on this script to the person on the phone as if you're sitting next to your best friend sitting on the couch and explaining to them how great solar is and how we're going to send somebody out to do a free inspection to look at their roof so that if they're not interested in solar and their roof is in great shape, at least they'll have peace of mind knowing that their family's safe if a storm were to come through. Okay.
I apologize, Chris. I have a question. As you relating to the script, it has to be verbatim.
No.
Or it doesn't have to be verbatim,
No.
but it has to be natural, like you having a conversation with your friend.
Right.
If I understand you correctly.
It's best for you that it's like that. For
It's best,
instance,
okay.
if I were going to read the script, you'll notice that I may not say each and every word that's in here, and I may even change the words.
Okay.
As long as it doesn't impede on the integrity of the script and the same message comes across. I say things different. I sometimes use my vocabulary may be a little different than somebody else's. So whenever, for instance, I have people who don't want to say, I appreciate you taking my call because they want this to sound more formal. Like
Correct.
I could say, hello, Jacqueline, my name is Chris. I'm with Universal Contracting. I'll make this brief. We are providing free roof and energy inspections in your area. One of our inspectors will stop by tomorrow or the next day, or sometimes I won't even say that. One of our inspectors will stop by sometime this week, and they will explain how you can receive state incentives and 25%, and the 25% tax credit, as well as additional rebates for solar and energy efficiency home improvements. They'll also make sure that your roof is safe and ready for storm season. The state of Florida is now giving incentives for homeowners when you reduce the cost of powering your home. Now, I try to stay away from using the word electric and electricity
You have to be very
and
quick.
the electric company, because when even though obviously the panels are creating electricity to power their home. So what we're trying to say is, okay, we're not, or I should say electric bill. So what we're doing is we're taking that electric bill that they're getting from their power company and we're trying to eliminate it. So when you say, okay, we want to eliminate your electric bill, or we want to we want to reduce your electric bill. What we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce the cost of powering their home. Okay. So, because some people don't equate solar panels to electricity, and they think, okay, well, all you're going to do is I'm still have to deal with I'm still going to get an electric bill but I'm also, if they finance it, I'm going to get an electric bill and I'm also going to get a bill from the finance company. So I'll have two bills now instead of one. So it kind of gets confusing to them. Whereas if you explain to them, we're taking your electric bill and we're replacing it with the financing to power your home. So we're taking something that you already have and that you're already paying a lot of money for, and we're either eliminating it or reducing it dramatically immediately. The very first month that they start using the solar, the cost of powering their home is cut in half or more. Okay, so just keep that's the whole premise behind this, because so many people think, oh, well, I'm going to have two bills. I've got to pay off this. I've got a loan to pay off my solar, but I'm also going to get electric bill, which is somewhat true because they cannot get away from the electric company completely. But the only thing that they're paying to the electric company is the service fee or the connection fee, which is usually less than $35. Okay. And there's no way you can get away from that unless you build a home out in the middle of nowhere and never have electric brought to the home and you start out with solar panels immediately.
Make a lot of sense. I agree.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay, so the state of Florida is giving incentives to homeowners when you reduce the cost of powering your home. In addition to the 26% tax credit and the cash rebates from our company. What day will work best for you? And now we run it. Sometimes the customer will say, "Well, I don't care," and I've had reps think, "Well, that means that I don't want anybody to come out and look at my roof. I don't care about my having somebody look at my roof." What they're saying is, you pick a time, you pick a day, whatever is good for you is good for. I don't care when you come.
Right.
Okay. But I've had people think that that's not what they meant, and they continue reading. So those of you that've done this, you've heard of talking past the close. Well, that's what happens. Okay. So just, give them this information. Or I've got some that, we're giving we're providing free roof and energy inspection in your area. One of our inspectors will stop by this week. What day will be good for you? And they don't even go through the rest of it. So it makes it sound like this is happening. We've got somebody coming out to see you. What day's going to work best for you? Because we're talking to everybody in your area.
All right.
Okay. So it's real assumptive. Let's see here. And then here, after you've set the appointment, you want to ask how much their electric bill is on average. And you can put that information right in here. Okay. Obviously, if they say, they give you a date, you're going to put that information right here. The time is going to go right there. And then you want to make sure you fill in all this information. Okay. Whether it's a solar appointment or a roofing appointment or both. If it's ask them when their roof was last inspected. And some of this stuff will come natural as you're going through the script. Okay. So if you have to go beyond this point, and they said, "Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if this is what I want to do." Okay. Just explain to them. Hey, we're all concerned about the economy and the rising cost of electric or gas and electric. Okay. So now you can have a lower electric bill every month and know that it will always remain low for as long as you own your home, even if the power company raises their rates. And then I go into, for instance, I don't know if you knew this or not, but the Energy Commission just approved another fuel rate increase to $60 per 1,000 kilowatt hours.
Well, you have to start with.
So as of July 1st of this year, this increase is being passed on to you, the consumer, and will appear on your electric bill every month. So if you had solar, you wouldn't even have to worry about this right here. So we're telling them, that even if the power company raises their rates, if they go solar, that will never be a concern for them as long as they own their home. Okay. We're helping homeowners. We're here to help homeowners. We have inspectors in your area conducting free inspections to help homeowners. We can have someone stop by tomorrow or the next day. Now, big thing, free. Everybody likes free. Use it as much as you possibly can. Okay. He or she will simply take a look at your roof, go over a few details regarding the benefits of solar, and provide you with some information, as well as explain how you can go solar with no upfront cost. So if they finance solar through one of the finance companies that we provide, unlike when you purchase a home or sometimes when you purchase a car, the finance company will finance the entire system. They will not require them to put a down payment. Okay, so they won't have to come out of pocket up front anything.
So that is a rebuttal. That's our rebuttal in a sense.
Yes.
If they object, okay, that is a rebuttal. I got it.
but you can also give them, that can be part of your script. I mean, if they you can't get them to give you the appointment up here, then just keep reading. Okay. But you can also use it as a rebuttal. Now, sometimes when you're talking to a homeowner, if you take this, if they keep giving you the same objection, and you have already rebutted them once with this particular rebuttal or any particular rebuttal, sometimes if you just reword the rebuttal, it'll close the deal. And sometimes, some people just take a few times. They want to say no several times before they finally give in. Okay, so you just keep, and a lot of times if they just tell me we're really not interested. I was, well, may I ask why? What are your concerns? And some of them don't want the high pressure sales tactics. They don't want somebody in their home twisting their arm to do this. Okay, so you just go down here that this visit should not take long, and there will be no. I keep forgetting to change this here. With no high pressure sales tactics. What day would be best for somebody to come out? As you see, throughout the script, I asked for the appointment several times because you want to keep closing. Okay. Now, then it goes, as a roofing and solar installation company, we have a system to either permanently or greatly reduce your electric bill. We offer energy improvement cash rebates of up to $5,000. You can use these to reduce or replace an AC or a hot water heater or a pool heater, or you can just pocket the money or put it in your bank account and save it for a rainy day. Okay. Have you ever completed any energy savings home improvements since you purchased your home, such as these things? And when they give you these answers, go ahead and put it over here in the notes. Okay. And then just thank them. Thank you for that information. Okay. As a roofing company with the solar division, we are offering solar ready roofs inspections to see if you would qualify. Now, some roofs, they could have trees all around them. They could be in bad shape. Or the way the roof is cut up, it's almost impossible to get enough solar panels on there to completely eliminate their electric bill. So the inspectors will go over that with them. We have the ability to have somebody come out and trim trees. And we also have, if they have a large yard and the roof is not large enough, or it's cut up too much, and I don't know how to, in other words, it's got several different slopes rather than just a gable roof, which is up and over. Then there's other ways that they can get panels set up to generate enough electricity to power their home. Okay. Let's see here. Has anyone provided you with a complete solar overview to see if and how it could reduce or eliminate your monthly electric bill while simultaneously increasing the value of your home? Okay. There are some realtors that kind of shy away from solar because they don't know how to sell it as part of an investment in the home. The thing that everybody needs to remember is if somebody spends $10,000 or $20,000 on solar panels to put on their roof, and then 5 years down the road, they want to sell the house. Okay. The key is to take that $20,000 finance charge or loan that they have that they use to pay for the solar panels. It needs to be piggybacked onto what they're asking for the house. Okay. So if the house is being sold for $130,000, they should jack that up to $150,000. And the way it has to be sold to the buyer is that when they step foot in that new home that they've just purchased, they will not have an electric bill. So that $300 electric bill that they were expecting to pay or that they were paying in the last home they were in is gone. So it's worth it. That $20,000 tacked on to the top of the original price of the home is well worth the purchase price, because it'll pay for itself for them, just like it did for the owner who's selling the home.
All right, Chris. In another word, sorry, Chris, it
fine.
raises, it increases the value of the property automatically with that solar system installed.
Correct. And it's funny because, like I said, if the realtor doesn't know how to sell it, then they either need to get a new realtor or they need to explain to the realtor how to sell it. Because, I mean,
Right.
Think about it. Wouldn't you love to be able to walk into a brand new home and know that your expense for your home will be probably your water bill, your cable bill,
Or cut in half or way less.
right, or and your mortgage payment and no electric bill. And the nice thing about it is, at least with your cable bill, it's until they raise rates, it's pretty much the same you have the same, it's going to cost you the same every month. Your mortgage payment, unless it's a fluctuating interest rate, your mortgage payment is going to stay the same. Your phone bill is going to stay the same. Okay. Your water bill might fluctuate a little bit, but usually not. It's usually the same every month. Your electric bill is the only thing that you have that is a variable. Depending on the power company and how much your home, how many showers are taken every day, how much laundry is done on a daily basis, your power bill will fluctuate. And obviously in the summer months, it's usually higher than it is in the winter months. And you don't know. It's not a fixed bill every month. But when you put solar panels on your roof and you have a monthly payment to the finance company, it's going to be the same every single month. So even when your neighbor during the summer months has a $400 or $500 electric bill, and you have a payment to the finance company for $150, your bill for powering your home during the summer months is going to be $150 every month, and you can bank on it. So that being said, okay, so here, if you get down to this point, this is where you're asking for the information that you're going to fill in here. Okay. Obviously, if you've already filled it in, you don't have to do that. Okay, so here are some of the objections. Customer says, I'm not interested. Okay. Not really, hyped up on solar. Don't really believe in it. Okay. And most people don't know this. And just tell them, you realize that all those solar farms that you see on the side of the highway are owned by the power company, your power company, the company that powers your home. So obviously they see the value and the reliability in solar energy. And the only difference is that you're not receiving any of the money savings. Let me see. You're not receiving any of the money savings. That's weird. The difference is you're not receiving this money savings. Buying that solar energy from them. Okay?
Right. That's all together connected.
Yeah. I don't know why I was having trouble with that. Okay.
Right.
But so what I add to that is that I understand that you don't think solar is reliable, but you realize your power company that's giving you electricity, some of the electricity you're using now is probably generated by solar panels.
Right.
And you don't see a difference, do you? Your power, that the strength of the power in your home isn't any less. You're not losing power. It's all the same. Okay, so the only difference is by buying it from the power company or the electric company, it's going to cost you. You're not saving any money. So that $300 electric bill that you're using to power your home, which could possibly be, 50% of it or more could be generated from solar, could be $150 if you generated the solar yourself or the power through your own solar panels. Okay, so why continue to pay hundreds of dollars every month to the power company when you can generate your own electricity? Okay, and then let them know when with these appointments. That's the other thing. When we send them out, the high pressure tactics, those are usually the things that they don't want to deal with. Okay, let them know you're under absolutely no obligation, but at least you'll be armed with information so that you can make a decision in the future if you decide to do so. Okay, so I go in here again, no high pressure tactics. Okay, can you call me back next month? Got to create urgency. The federal government has extended the 26% tax rebate through 2022. It may not be available next year. It used to be 30%, and they've reduced that. So next year it may not be around. Okay, so if you want to save, get that tax credit, you got to move on this pretty quick. And the nice thing about it is the tax, let's say, for instance, the tax credit is saves them $3,000 and their tax, or let's say it saves them $6,000 based on the size of the system. And their tax bill for that year is $3,000. So now we've got another $3,000 that they're not using. That can be put on their next year's. They can use it over a 3-year period as far as their taxes are concerned. Okay. Let's see. And let's say that, or they can take the extra tax credit and they can put it towards their loan and bring down the loan payment. If they do that in the first 18 months of the loan, they can reduce their monthly payment on their loan for the solar.
Yep.
But all of that stuff, if you don't understand it, I stay away from it. That's something that the inspectors will explain to them. Okay. If somebody tells you they can't afford solar, everybody can afford solar unless they don't have good credit. Okay. As you can see here, I'm sure you'll agree that for the rest of your life, no matter where you live, you're going to have an electric bill to power your home. Am I correct? Okay, so you'll agree that the cost of buying electricity from the power company continues to get more expensive every year by at least 10% or more. Okay, so we can show you how to generate your own electric to power your home, and it would be less than your current electric bill and remain the same low cost every month. And you can say for the next 25 or 30 years, or you could say for as long as you own your home. Okay. And there is no upfront cost. Okay.
Got it.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying, got it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So with solar, you're taking something that you're already paying for, and you're paying a lot of money for, and you're taking that and you're making it making it cost less. And who could argue with that? Okay, so for instance, if you have a gas station on the corner that you've been going to for 20 years, and another gas station opens up across the street, and their gas is $2 less per gallon, why would you continue to go to the same gas station when you can get it for $2 cheaper across the street? It's the same gas. Your car's going to run the same. Nothing's going to be different other than the fact that you're going to be saving money. It's kind of a no-brainer. Same thing with electric. Okay? Your house isn't going to run any different with solar power. It's going to run exactly the same as it does by using power from the electric company. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to skip some of this stuff because some of it's repetitive. Okay. Really important. And again, a lot of this stuff you guys will never have to use, but it's good for you to know. We are so confident in our solar product and services that we're offering the industry's most comprehensive warranties. You'll never see this with any other company. Okay. 25-year labor warranty, usually 5 years or less. 25-year solar panel warranty, usually 10 years or less. The inverter warranty, and I'll explain what that is in a second. Same thing. Your roof penetration warranty. So a lot of people have fear of putting panels on the roof because they've heard nightmares of people, their roofs would leak afterwards. Okay. We use special pads that seal the screws, and the racks that the panels are hooked onto are hooked. Hold on just a second. I'm sorry. Hello, this is Chris.
Well, you know what I mean. Like, I didn't realize I always talk about.
Okay, so the racks that are that the panels are hooked to have brackets that are mounted into the trusses of the roof. It's not just a screw that goes through the plywood. Okay, so they make sure every single rack is attached to a truss, and there's these rubber pads, and they seal as the screw goes in. Okay, but you never know. Something could go wrong. One of the things could not seal properly, and they give a 25-year roof penetration warranty. They don't even give a 25-year warranty for putting a roof on. You're lucky if you get 5 years. Usually it's 2 years. Okay, and your power protection guarantee. So if they put the panels on the roof, and they say, okay, well, your electric bill is going to be eliminated, and except for your connection fee, which should be $35. If for whatever reason,
I'm doing okay. Waiting for the meeting, trying to work. I've been trying to work for you guys for the past month and a half.
Can you?
How you doing? How's your day going? How's your morning?
Are you talking to me?
It's fine, thank you.
Okay, can you put yourself?
I'm waiting
Can
for
you put
the
yourself
supervisor
on mute,
to enter,
please?
to the meeting. So let's give her a minute.
I just got into this meeting an
No
hour
problem.
late.
Did you have coffee today?
Sorry?
Did you get some coffee today?
Okay, I don't
That's
know.
good. I already had breakfast and
I need
coffee.
to start the
I got some tea. I don't like coffee.
Really?
I
I
had
don't
some
know.
tea. It gets me hyper. I start sweating a lot.
Start babbling at
Caffeine.
opportune moments.
Okay,
A contract. Hey guys.
can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, I think I muted that person.
He has been muted.
Okay. Okay. So, the power warranty is if for whatever reason their solar panels do not generate the amount of power that we have guaranteed that it will, we will give them that money back in cash until we make the proper adjustments to make sure that the panels are generating what it's supposed to.
Ask for help.
Okay. Unheard of. And everything's warranted through Lloyd's of London. And so even if
Love
something
your
were to
brother.
happen to our
Love you
company,
too,
they'd
more
still
than
have
anybody.
that guarantee. Just so you guys know, the company's been around for about 20 years. We have 4 offices here in Florida and 1 in Texas. We're not going anywhere. Okay. So if you have a customer who asks that, you can let them know that. Okay. Now, you'll have customers who say that I've got a new roof. I don't want to damage my roof. Not a problem. We have a standalone system. It's that can be placed. It's called a pergola, and it's kind of like a gazebo. And they can build a pergola. All it is posts and planks across it, and the panels are mounted on top of that. And they run a cable from the solar panels all the way down to the meter box on the side of the house. Same thing with mobile homes. We can't mount panels on top of a roof of a mobile home. So if they're not in a mobile home park and they have property, we can do the same thing. We can do the pergola. If they say that they already have solar, great. So you're already saving money. How long have you had your solar? Is it operating to your expectations and saving you the money that they said it would? Now, back when solar first became popular, everybody and their brother was selling it, and it was like the Wild West. So it wasn't heavily regulated, and people were taken advantage of. So there were salespeople out there telling them that they could power their entire home with 10 panels. Can't do it. Okay. So they bought this system, and they're still getting $100 electric bill, but they also have a loan payment. And so they're not really saving any money. Well, they are to an extent, but not what they were expecting. So we can send the inspectors out. They can go out and they can check it, see if there's a problem. Maybe an adjustment needs to be made, or they can sell them more panels, and we can add on and grow their system so that they can achieve their goal, which is eliminating their electric bill. Okay. Okay. The system, the panels that we put up, they are called the Aptos DNA 144, and Aptos, they have the 440 watt and the 449 watt, which is more than most panels generate between 350 and 375. Okay. And we use micro inverters called Enphase, individual inverters for each panel. Okay. So the Enphase inverters go on each panels. Now, back in the olden days, and also the new Tesla panels are what they call daisy chained. It's kind of like Christmas lights. So they're all hooked together, and then there's one inverter that sits at the next to the power meter on the side of the house, your electric box meter, and all the panels are controlled by that. And the inverter changes the type of energy that's electricity that's coming out of the panels to the type of electricity that powers your home. So that inverter, if one of the panels goes out with the daisy chain, then all of them go out. With our system, they have a separate inverter on every panel. So if one goes out, only that one goes out, they're still generating electricity. Okay. Now, we try to set it up so that their electricity that they generate during the day exceeds what they're going to need to power their home during the day. And then that excess energy is sent back to the power company and put into a bank account, basically, so that when you're using energy at night, because there's no sun out, so you're not generating any, that energy that was banked for you is what you're using to power your home at night, so that you don't have an electric bill for what you're using at night. And that is called net metering. Okay. Here in the state of Florida, they've been trying to do away with it, but Ron DeSantis has just vetoed the newest bill trying to eliminate the net metering. He won't allow it to happen. So the homeowners here in Florida are lucky in that aspect, because there are other states that do not offer the net metering. Okay. And then, of course, they have batteries that can store excess energy to power their homes at night as well. Okay. So here also down here at the bottom tells you how to disposition your calls. So if you ever run into a situation where you're confused, or you can call me and I'll tell you. If you say, well, this guy said he was renting, I wasn't sure if that he said he's not the homeowner. Should I click on renter or condo? Or, most of the buttons are self-explanatory. Okay. And just keep in mind, you have to click on them twice in order for you to get your next phone call. And the only one you don't want to click on twice right away is your appointment button, because you're going to click on it once. Your calendar is going to come up. You're going to mark your calendar. The appointment will go away, and then you'll click on it again, and that will set the appointment. And what that does is, once you click on that the second time, an email is sent to the scheduling person who schedules the inspectors to go out. So they get the email, and then they send it to each of the inspectors so they can contact the homeowner and get any additional information they need and verify that the date and time.
Hi, okay. Chris.
Yes.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
No,
Right.
go ahead.
Okay, well, Chris, would you please do that little scenario again, when actually scheduling again, when you click on the appointment button once, and then to get the calendar.
Oh, darn it. I did it.
Milo doesn't like your jumping up when he's eating.
Cancel. Okay, so you click on the appointment.
Once.
Okay, and then you click on whatever time frame you want. Okay, so
let's say I want the Friday. Let's say I want Friday, for instance, right? I'm on the Friday square.
You want Friday at 11 o'clock. This little square right here, you click on that, and then the calendar disappears.
I click on that once.
Once here, the calendar will disappear like that. And then you click here.
Puts me back to this screen. And then I click on it once, and this is it.
And you click on it one more time, and then the screen disappears, and you get another call.
All right. Okay, and then my appointment is set.
Correct.
All right.
Right. So I'm not going to do that because I already did the last one. I'm going to have to call them and tell them that's not a real appointment. So then your screen will look like this again. Okay. And if you have a concern and not sure that your appointment got set, you just go in here, and it'll show you that and it'll show you your appointments. Okay. Obviously, we didn't book one, so we don't have one here, but
all of them will display there.
Yep. These are your appointments.
Okay.
They'll show up right here.
All right.
Okay. So if we had actually booked that appointment for that, for Friday, then it would show up as a little blue square like you just saw, but it would be over here on this section of the calendar. Okay.
And this is it, right?
That's it.
All right. Thank you.
My question is about scheduling.
Okay.
I mean, our schedule, that is.
Okay.
Are we able to schedule ourselves Monday through Saturday?
Yes. Just let me know ahead of time.
Perfect. Also, have you noticed any better results on the 9 to 1 shift versus the 1 to 5? I'm thinking about appointment bonus structure.
It depends on the individual. I have some that do better, the 1 to 5, and then I have some that do just as well from the 9 to 1. So it basically it's up to you. Of course I've got some that don't like to work the evening because they don't want to. They've got it stuck in their head that they're interrupting people during dinner because one person told them, "Hey, we're sitting down to have dinner," okay. And so now they're concerned that everybody that they talk to is sitting down to have dinner at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's a mindset.
Okay.
But the key that the one thing that I want to just really drill into you guys is this is a numbers game. Okay. If you've done this for any length of time, I own my own call centers for about 30 years, and they got in contact with me to set this up for them because of my experience. But just knowing, no matter what product we sold, no matter what the campaign was, it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more appointments you're going to set. So if you're sitting for 4 hours instead of logging out after every other phone call, you're going to get more calls. And the other thing, that this is a predictive dialer. So if we have people constantly getting on and off the phone, the dialer has to keep adjusting itself. And what that does is it slows it down. So if you're going to be logged in from 9 to 1, and obviously everybody's got, you're at home. So I know the doors, there's maybe somebody at the door there, you may get another phone call. You may need to use a restroom or what have you. You're going to have to take a couple minutes here and there, but if you can steadily be on the phone, it'll help. You guys will help one another out because the dialer will move faster and you'll get more phone calls.
Got it. Excuse me. Well, if the gentleman done with his question, in relation to reaching you, how do we do that? By email or directly calling you? Because that instruction was not given. In addition to the schedule, so it's 9 to 1 or 1 to 8. So what the latest time we dial or the last phone call can be made?
8 o'clock at night.
Oh, 8 o'clock. Okay. So if it once only can choose the shift, can we work flexible shift, for example, or it has to be 9 to 1 or 1 to 8?
Just
right?
Let me know ahead. Let me know ahead of time if you've got. I know some people this is going to be a second job for them. So if you have other schedules that you're trying to fit this into, just let me know ahead of time. You can send me an email or a text. And if I have questions, I'll call you and we'll work it out that way.
Okay. Thank you so much.
And you said something before. You said something about the schedule. What were you asking about?
No,
I was asking.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I was asking about how we reach you. If it's via email or do it.
How you reach me?
We reach out to. Yeah.
Okay. A text or a phone call.
Okay. Thank you. No email. Okay. I got it.
Yeah. I mean, you can email me, but I have my phone with me usually all the time, so it's easier to reach me that way. And you're more than if you've got something that's not pressing, you can always send me an email, and I'll check that throughout the day. But of course, I've always got my cell phone with me, so it's
a text or a call. Okay, no problem. That's good. That's quicker. Thank you.
And if you call me and I'm not available, I will call you back or send me a text, and I'll answer the text.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, anybody else? Any questions, any concerns?
Okay, I have one here, Chris. This is Stephen. So if somebody, going back to schedule, if someone, I want to be, more straightforward with mine in relation with the schedule, right? If someone wants to work the whole shift, like 9 to 8, let's say, can somebody do that? 9 to 8? Is it possible?
Yes, it is possible, but obviously, you have to be making appointments. And the thing is you got to remember, the reason I've got 30 years of experience of having call centers and having reps in my office, 100 people per shift. And my shifts when I had my office ran 6 hours, and then they had a break in between, because 6 hours is tough to sit on the phone for and take calls back to back. Okay, it's
right.
It's tiring, even mentally tiring. I mean, obviously it's not physically tired, but so that's why I did the shifts in 4-hour increments, because I wanted people to, to take that break in between and, have lunch or what have you. And then, if you wanted to get back on the phones afterwards, you're more than welcome to do so. But the 4 hours is not so long that you couldn't sit there and really concentrate on phone calls for 4 hours, because it actually goes pretty fast once you get started on it.
Okay, I'm Marcus. How you doing today, Chris?
Hey, Marcus.
So most likely our goal is make appointments for the roof or for the solar panels. Are we able to make them feel as, we just want to go there so that we are able to look into the roof, make sure everything is working properly. There's no pressure. It's nothing that you have to commit to. We just want to give you more information so that you know what is it that you have at home, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I understood. Just making sure, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get, like you said, you could change the script as long as you and the customer are in the same page. Not change the script, use different vocabularies, correct? That's what you said.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So we only working, for me to know, we only working 4 hours a day. Am I correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Who do we ask about the schedules? How do we do that? We talk to you?
Well, I sent everybody documents for you to fill out, and then on those documents is what the schedule looks like, and all you have to do is check off what your desired schedule is, and then if that needs to deviate, if you have to deviate from that at any point in time, then just let me know, and I'll make sure that we have the seats available.
You already sent us that information, you said?
Yeah, you should have gotten it. It's on the same sheet where the compensation is, and then on the second page, it asks for your banking information so they can do direct deposit into your bank account. Now, I had somebody send me something for Chime, and this is an ACH. We're not using a payroll company to do this because you are independent contractors. So I will double check with the accounting department to see if they can do the Chime. But I've been told that it has to be an actual bank account.
Well, whoever
so
sent you the Chime,
what bank do you know?
There is a routing and account numbers that are with all.
Right, I see that. So I'll. That's why I said I didn't realize that's how it was set up. But I will contact the accounting department and ask them if it's okay to use the Chime. But most people just use their checking or savings account.
Chiming in because
and what happens is every
what kind of coffee
Sunday or Monday, you will get a report that shows all the hours that you were logged in and your appointments and the number of calls that you've taken.
Thank you.
Okay, so when you're in ready mode or in training, and the only time you should be in training is if you're on the phone if you had to call me, or I ask you to put yourself in training so we can go over a few things, some extra training, or obviously we're in training right now. So I will go ahead and log you guys for your training that we've got that you did today. But the only time the time that you're getting paid for is when you're in ready. Okay. So, because you're working from home, I can't control if you get off the phone and take an hour break. Okay. So we can't pay people if they're not on the phones taking calls. But if you have to do a call back, you put yourself in training. If you have to call me, you put yourself in training. And if obviously during our meetings, we have meetings every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, everybody logs in and puts themselves in training for the meeting. But other than that, you have to be in ready, and then the hours are calculated while you're in ready for the hours that you're going to be paid for. Okay, and then it also keeps track of all the appointments that you make, and it keeps track of all the number of phone calls. So I've had situations where people don't disposition their calls in a timely fashion. So I'll have one person who worked 20 hours and only has 200 phone calls for the week, where I've got another person who worked 10 hours and they've got almost 1,000 phone calls for the week. So that tells me the person that's not getting a lot of phone calls, they're doing something wrong. They're not dispositioning their calls so that they can, they don't have to take one call after the next. But obviously, the key to this is making as many appointments as you can, because that's where your bonuses are, and that's where you're going to make the most money.
All right. I'm sorry, Chris. I have a question.
Uh-huh.
In regards to that point you just made, how do I know the calls are automatic, right? It's what you call like a predictive. What was the term?
Yeah,
predictive dialing.
You're correct.
All right. So the calls are, coming in, back to back. So doesn't the system track the whole interaction? Very much that takes place while the calls are coming in, dispositioning, taking place at the same time. And let's say it's 4 hours, and in those 4 hours, all I do is answer call, talk, or disposition the call and go to next and the next and the next. Let's say I have to go to use the bathroom for 5. I take a 2, 3, 4 minutes bathroom break, come back, right back up, sit down and continue on the calling. Would that show otherwise? Because if it's 4 hours, as long as I'm dispositioning my call and I keep going my calls, would that show otherwise? How can that show otherwise?
If you get up and take a 4-minute break, you put yourself on break, and as soon as you come back, you put yourself back on ready.
Accordingly.
Right. Okay. And that but see what I, for instance, if the dialer wasn't working properly and calls were coming in really slow, then everybody across the board would have the same amount of phone calls. Within a few calls here or there. But when I've got somebody who is, because I can also, just so you guys know, I can listen to every recording. Okay, every call is recorded, and I can also let me get out of here and go back into the manager screen.
Jobs that they train me to do, and then I can that are scalable to assign to assistants.
Let's see here.
It's me.
Okay, I did that wrong. Okay, let's sign out of this. Okay, so this is my manager screen. When I go in to see the log for the day, I can go into call log. And this shows me all the calls that are being made today, that have been made today. Okay, so these here that say 30 seconds, I know that those were probably hangups. You probably didn't talk to anybody. But then these here that are a minute or more than a minute, I can play a recording and listen to the conversation. Okay, see what went on. Now, the other thing I can do is I can go in here to the view of the map of the floor map. And I don't know why it's doing this, but I'll have to get with, let's see here. Okay, so Jesse Ortiz is waiting for a call right now. And you can see he's been waiting for 9 seconds, 12 seconds. Okay, so if I see this number go over 3 minutes, I know, no, see, he's already on another call. I know that the person who I'm listening or I'm looking at isn't dispositioning their calls. Okay, so once I click on that person, so I'll click on Jesse, this screen comes up for me. I can listen to the live phone call. I can whisper in Jesse's ear if I think he needs to say something to the customer to get him off the fence. Or if I think it's really going south, I can barge into and take over the call. Okay, so that's how that's the extent of my being able to control what you guys do. Okay, so but you can see, he's on this call. He's been on the call for 47 seconds, and I can see who it is he's talking to. So it gives me all this information. So this is data that I use, but when I do my reports, for instance, let's see here. Let's look at agent report, okay? My agent report, this is what I look at the end of every week and periodically through the week too, okay? So I've got all these individuals in here that worked this week. And so for this person here, she worked the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, she worked every day, okay? And she logged in on Sunday and she wasn't supposed to. Okay. So this tells me that she was logged in for
okay, all right. I'm with you. I just don't want to get a cheap number.
Where's the ready?
I don't want to get the cheapest number. And so
ready.
We'll
okay,
send it.
So this
we can go pick up.
So she was logged in for 45 hours and she only took 518 calls.
One little wet spot right
okay. This person here was logged in for 14 hours and took 525 calls. There's a problem. Okay, so that's how I follow. I take, somebody who has at least the same amount or more calls and find out how many hours they worked. So we've got an issue there. Okay. Any other questions regarding how I track that?
I don't have a question about the tracking, but about the payment schedule. It said it's paid monthly, or I'm sorry, the bonuses are paid monthly, but the wages are paid weekly or bi-weekly.
The only bonus that's paid monthly is if the appointment you set turns into a customer and we put a new roof on or we put solar on it, that's paid on a monthly basis. But everything else is on a weekly basis.
Okay, so the $20 per appointment average, what is that structure around?
Okay, so I'm trying to, I think so it's $20 per appointment. And then if you have 35 appointments from Monday through Saturday, you get the additional $250. And then it starts all over the following week.
And an appointment is when we set it and the representative shows up, or we set up whether or not the representative shows up or not, is it still an appointment? I mean, not shows up or not, but if they show up and the person says no thank you at the door, do we still count as an appointment?
Right now we are doing that, but and that's just, well, they are calling everybody back to confirm the appointments. Now, if they get into a situation where a lot of the appointments are saying, no, I told them I didn't want an appointment, or they're canceling on that callback, or they're canceling it at the door with any individual person, then we're going to we'll revisit that. But it hasn't been an issue. All the appointments have been good, so they haven't been taking any of them away. But it's just being watched closely.
Okay, and so then the base pay, that is paid weekly, bi-weekly?
Weekly, Monday through Saturday, paid the following Friday.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And what I do is either Sunday evening or Monday at some point, which will happen this week, I generate a report and send you each. You get your own individual report, which has an accounting of your hours and your phone calls and your appointments for that week that you are scheduled to be paid that following Friday. That way, if there's a discrepancy, you can contact me and we'll figure out what happened.
Well, that's very smart. If you know that that's something that might get you into trouble,
okay,
later, it's very smart to put it down.
So one question real quick. So you said that per appointment is going to be $20 each, right?
Correct.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get Stephen, Jonathan, Nate, and Bert set up with logins. And because you'll either start today or tomorrow, and then the rest of you that are starting next week, I'll have your login set up, and I'll probably reach out to you before then just to make sure that we have everything set up. But please get that paperwork sent over to me so we can make sure that the payroll department has your information and we don't have any glitches next Friday when we get ready to pay you.
All right, I'm sending it over shortly.
Okay, thank you guys. Have a wonderful day. If you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of me.
Yes, thank you, Chris. Thank you for taking the time to do this.
Thank you.